Hi, this is Sarah Burton, and this is journal entry number 4. I will be using terms from our course textbook, and I will be referring to the movie Courage Under Fire. Here are a list of the symptoms that I observed in the movie characters. So I'm going to discuss this. So I'm going to start with Karen because she was the one I found the toughest to diagnose, because all of her stories were told by other people, and so I'm just assuming that she probably has some anxiety. I know that she really is scared of letting her team down, and being a woman in the service probably hasn't helped her anxiety. She strives for perfectionism because she feels she has to work twice as hard because she's a woman. Ilario, played by Matt Damon, I diagnosed him with PTSD and anxiety disorder. As well as substance use disorder. I noticed, well, of course, he's got substance use problem, a smoking problem, so he's got his addictions, and that is a symptom of anxiety disorder and PTSD. They're self-medicating. So he's got an anxious personality. He avoids talking about the situation. He don't even like to think about it. He laughs a lot and deflects, and he's got a lot of depression, which is another symptom of PTSD, and it usually goes along with anxiety disorder. And Monfries, I diagnosed him with PTSD and major depression. Major depression mostly because of his suicide, of course, and then you have his excessive gambling and anger and avoidance. He's always avoiding Nat's stares. He doesn't want to look at him in the eye, and he is exercising and doing all he can to avoid talking to Nat at all. Not only would I diagnose him with PTSD, major depression, I would probably also add a NPD in there, but I know that's not what the chapter was about. And Nat, of course, his alcohol use disorder, nightmares, flashbacks, anger, avoidance, definitely PTSD, alcohol use disorder, depression. He avoids his family. He's avoiding his wife, somebody that he usually trusts in and confides in, and he can't even talk to her about this, and it's tearing him apart because it's confidential, and he feels like he's to blame for what happened in the desert. So the two characters that I wanted to discuss are Nat and Monfries, and their escape mechanisms. Of course, Nat is alcohol, his addiction that he uses as an escape mechanism. Monfries likes to gamble and excessively exercise. His avoidance is a big problem. He does everything he can not to face his crime. And of course, he don't want to get caught. He don't want to get in trouble. And Nat, more of his escape mechanisms are avoidance and, of course, overworking. He's using work as an excuse to stay away from his family so he can drink and ruminate over what he thinks he's done. Their memory of the events, of course, have been manipulated. Nat's memory is manipulated by his commanding officer. It's manipulated by what he thinks really happened out there, and his guilt feelings. And of course, his recollection of Karen's story each time is different because each character are telling him different sides to the story. Monfreeze, his memory has been manipulated mostly by his delusions of grandeur and his pursuit to keep his crime a secret. She's mean. What impact has this had on their friends, family, and careers? Well, Nat's family, they miss him. He's always off to war or he's working. And his wife misses him, and his drinking is out of control, so it's tearing him from his family. It almost caused him to lose his job as well, and because his general keeps mentioning that he saved his ass. On Monfreeze, he's probably a recluse except when he's gambling, so he probably doesn't have any friends. He's probably pushed away most of his family members. He thinks his life is great, but his ego won't let him admit that he's committed a crime or done anything wrong. So, why did I select these characters? I feel like their battles were the toughest, and at the end of the movie, you find that Monfreeze is the other main character. He's the protagonist. He is the bad guy. He didn't like having a female commander. And his cover-up of the crime was put on other soldiers. And that caused them to go downhill, and one of them dying in the hospital, and Ilario running off to the woods going AWOL. Nat's conscience haunts him daily and nightly. He's drinking to numb the pain, but the nightmares don't go away. And he knows that something is wrong. He just needs someone else to help him. So the nightmares could be like an indicator that his conscience is really bothering him about this. And I think somebody just needs to step up and let him step up, or let him take responsibility for it instead of trying to hide it and brush it under the rug. So I think that's all I have. Thank you.